So we are interested in general about learning how arithmetic operations are implemented in digital logic design or on a computer. So far what we have covered is how to do multiplication for unsigned numbers. So just to recollect, we had looked at this particular example last time, where we are multiplying a 4-bit number with a 4-bit number. So just to remind you, how do we do this? We multiply this number with the first bit here and we place it here. Similarly, we multiply this number with the second bit here and we place it over here. Remember to place it in the correct column. And then these items are known as partial products. And once you have all the partial products, you have to sum all of them up to derive your final answer. Now just a small thing to remember or notice here is, when I multiply this number with a 0, it actually leads to a partial product. So this partial product 3 is a 0. So if I neglect this 0 during the addition process, it is all right. So which means that I am more worried about including the items which are multiplied with a 1, and whenever this vector is multiplied with a 0, it is okay if I simply neglect this row, because it does not impact my summation process. So just keep that in mind. So this slide obviously is related to multiplication of unsigned numbers. Okay. So we have covered multiplication of unsigned numbers. So this one we have covered in the past. Okay. We have covered this in the past. We also covered the addition and subtraction of signed magnitude numbers. So if you recollect, we had taken a look at a table, and the table was a function of, is your two operands or are your two operands positive or negative, what is the operation that you want to do between the two operands, and if your operand A is greater than operand B, or A is less than B, or A is equal to B, and accordingly we have to take a decision that do you want to do A plus B, or do you want to do A minus B, or do you want to swap your operands and make it B minus A, or do you have to choose the final answer's sign. For example, the digit S7, do you have to choose it according to a table? So this is what we earlier saw, so you can revise that portion. Okay. Now what we would like to look at now is the multiplication. Here we would like to take a look at this. How do you do multiplication for signed magnitude numbers? Okay. So the multiplication for signed magnitude numbers is very similar to the multiplication of unsigned numbers to a certain extent. For example, let's draw something and understand that I have two operands. So for example, I have operand A, and let's say it's an 8-bit signed magnitude number. So I have A7 and I have A6 to A0. Similarly, I have operand B, which is basically has B7 and it has B6 to B0. So I have two numbers or two operands A and B. So why I wrote A7 and B7 separately? Because they are denoting the sign of your number, whereas A6 to A0 and B6 to B0 are representing the magnitude of your number. So what I can actually do is, I can say that I will use an unsigned multiplier, okay, which has two inputs, both of them are 7 bits. So I am going to multiply the magnitudes A of 6 colon 0 and B of 6 colon 0. Okay. So A of 6 colon 0 will enter, B of 6 colon 0 will enter into an unsigned multiplier, and it will lead to a how many bit answer? We just saw earlier today that if you multiply two 7-bit numbers, it leads to a 14-bit answer. Okay, so let's say this answer is Y. Now remember that overall A is how many bits? A is how many bits? 8 bits. B is how many bits? 8 bits. So we today earlier saw that our rule is what? That if I multiply an 8-bit number with an 8-bit number, the answer, so if I multiply A and B, both of them are 8 bits. So my answer is going to be 16 bits, correct? Answer is going to be 16 bits. Okay. So over here I only now have 14 bits. So what about the remaining 2 bits? So which means over here I am going to say that this is my final answer. The final answer, this item goes here starting from 0. My labeling is like this. This is my 15th bit, this is my 14th bit. So 0 to 13 is basically this answer coming from the unsigned multiplier, which is multiplying a 7-bit number with a 7-bit number. Remember that we are only multiplying the magnitude with the magnitude part. Okay. So the answer of the multiplication of the magnitudes is going to go here between 0 to 13. So then what is bit number 14? Because remember the answer is supposed to be 16 bits. So which means bit number 14 is always going to be a 0, correct? Going to be a 0. Okay. So we are simply extending, okay, the size of the sign of the magnitude part. Okay. So the magnitude here is always going to be positive. So the sign of that is always going to be 0. So we are placing a 0 in the 14th position. What happens to the final number here, meaning the 15th bit? Remember the 15th bit is supposed to denote the sign of the final answer. So let's go back here. If A7 is a 1 and B7 is a 0, which means A is negative and B is positive, then the answer is also going to be negative. So which means if A is 1, B is 0, my final answer here is supposed to be, the number that I place here is supposed to be 1. If B is negative, A is positive, then also my final answer here is supposed to be a 1. If A and B both are positive, both of these will be 0. Okay. Then my final answer here is supposed to be 0. If A is negative and B is also negative, then my final answer will become positive. Okay. So here I can create a table saying I have A7 and I have B7, and what should be my final answer or the 15th bit of my answer. So if both of them are positive, then my final answer should also be positive. If one of them is negative, then my final answer will be negative, and if both my numbers are negative, then the final answer is positive. So what does this look like? The truth table for this is the truth table for an exclusive OR gate, which means the 15th bit here is nothing but an XOR, okay, between what? A7 and B7. So generate the 15th bit this way. So the 15th bit will be the XOR between A7 B7, okay. Then 14th bit will be 0, and 0 to 13 of your final answer. So total 14 bits will come from these 14 bits which are coming out of the unsigned multiplier. So this is how we are going to tackle the multiplication here. So we are done with this portion, signed magnitude representation. So it says here that for 8-bit operands we will use an unsigned 7 cross 7 multiplier that generates a 14-bit answer, and then this answer can be used to finally generate the 16-bit final result. Remember that the MSB bit of your 16-bit final answer is going to be an XOR of your sign bits of your two operands. Okay,